Welcome to the 11th Annual Restoration Runway. We're so thrilled and grateful to have you on the other side of that screen and to be able to have the opportunity to bring to you this virtual fashion show production. I'm Cindy Mondello, and I'm the Executive Director and Founder of Restoration Place Counseling.
Hello, and thank you for joining us. I'm Pastor TJ Foster with Daystar Church.
And I'm Gary Davis, Human Resources with Hayful America Company. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. And they're also known as, like, the wonderful dancers.
Absolutely.
Did you see them cutting that rug? Well, our theme this year is a new vision. And when this theme was chosen way back in 2019.
Oh, those were the days.
I know, it's like 85 years ago, right? We were celebrating a new decade of Restoration Runway. Like I said, this is our 11th annual show, and the big thing was we are here in a brand new venue, the Carolina Theater, and as much as we wish that you were here with us, thank you for supporting us and tuning in with us tonight.
Yeah, but we never knew that we were going to be blindsided by COVID.
Yes, we were blindsided by COVID.
Yuck.
Speaking of COVID, I had no idea that the catchphrase, I wouldn't touch him with a 6-foot pole, was really going to turn into a national policy, but here we are.
Step back.
Okay, well, he told me to stand right here. So
you can't move.
I can't move.
Okay.
Yeah, well, in the beginning of this pandemic, the World Health Organization believed that dogs could not catch COVID-19. Being a pet parent myself, I encourage anyone who has a dog currently in quarantine to let that dog out. So just to be clear, who let the dogs out?
Okay, that was really corny.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm kind of corny. I like it.
I didn't get it, but this morning I was out walking around and I saw this lady and she was talking to her cat. And she was talking to her kind of like that she thought that she understood her, but I went inside and told my dog and we laughed.
Everybody knows cats don't understand anything.
My cat understands me.
Yes,
Did you
they
know
do.
I just got a brand new ragdoll kitten?
Ooh, cute. We'll have to show
Yeah,
people the
yeah.
pictures.
Okay, gentlemen. Thanks for that comic relief, but I truly am grateful for both of you and for all the others who have stuck with us and showed up to bring this production to you tonight. From the models to the dancers to that great drum line from Winston-Salem State University.
Awesome.
Thank
Great.
you to the Red Sea of Sound and Dr. Michael Magruder, our production company, and the wonderful people here at Carolina Theater.
Yes.
But before we go any further, there are two groups of people that I want us to give a special shout out tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to help you with that.
Thank you, Gary.
Yeah. Let's start out with our 2020 $5,000 runway level sponsors. And they are Corporate Accommodations, Midtown Financial Advisors, that's Brad Smith and Lori Hannock over there, Physician for Women, and David and Susan Woods.
From the bottom of our hearts, thank you to all of our
Yes.
$5,000 runway level sponsors. And there's another group of sponsors that we would be remiss if we did not thank tonight. Those are our 2020 $10,000 signature sponsors, Doug and Kathy McClay, Ruth Petty and Financial Strategies Unlimited, the Michael Family Foundation, RSVP Communications, State Street Jewelers. Speaking of signature sponsors,
Yeah,
we
don't
have
forget
some
about
signature pieces from State Street tonight. I need some sunglasses.
I know, it's very sparkly. Thank you to State Street Jewelers. You'll see some more of their lovely pieces on some of the models a little bit later. But that's not everyone who has been there for us and who has worked with us to make this possible. So be sure you take a look in your event program, which is a beautifully printed little book in your watch party kit, and it lists a lot of other people that have helped us. Thank you to all of our sponsors and our partners.
I had a chance to take a look at the program earlier. There are a lot of people that support RPC.
There are.
But I think there's even more folks out there that are watching right now that really don't understand why we're here and what we're trying to do as far as raising money and what's that all about.
Yeah.
And I was like them last year. This is my first year in 2019 and kind of getting on in the flow and kind of understanding what RPC was all about and just acknowledging and realizing all the needs from our communities that they really support.
Yeah.
And especially as a dad of two beautiful daughters.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I realized that, RPC is pretty much in my DNA. It became a vision, which I'll tell you a little bit about in just a moment. But I forget that other people don't really know what Restoration Place Counseling is. They think we are simply a professional counseling center for girls and women, which we are, but we're also a nonprofit. And the reason why we're a nonprofit is that when I began Restoration Place Counseling, I wanted to remove the financial barrier that is one of the biggest reasons why people don't seek the mental health care that they need.
So true.
Yeah, yeah. And so I remember a time in my life when I really had no vision for my life. And this is where it all started. It was December of 1996, almost 24 years ago. And at that time, I'd been battling alcohol addiction and an eating disorder for about 15 years or so. And I was tired. It was December 26, 1996. And as I went to sleep that night, I can remember thinking literally that the direction my life was going in, I just didn't have a vision for the future. I could not see even 5 years down the road. And I was 29 years old, and I didn't really have a desire to hurt or harm myself. But I remember thinking if I didn't wake up that next morning, that would be fine. Because, like I said, I was tired. But God had other plans for me.
Amen.
And that night, I actually said the first sincere prayer that I had said in a long time since the faith of my childhood. And He woke me up in the middle of the night, and He just showed me that the first thing that had to go was the alcohol. And each step along the way, He gave me a new vision. One of those visions landed me here in Greensboro, North Carolina, all the way from Shreveport, Louisiana. And then He began to do a work in my life, a healing work, through a really great Christian counselor. And a significant vision that landed us here on this stage tonight, a vision that was part of my journey, was this vision to start a place that other women, girls and women, could find the same hope, healing, and restoration in their lives that I had found in mine.
Thank you so much, Cindy, for sharing a powerful testimony. You know, the word tells us that without a vision, people perish. And your vision, connected with your passion and your purpose, has led you to flourish. But not only you, but others that have taken advantage of Restoration Place Counseling.
Thank you.
Which Cindy shared is not unique to just Cindy's story. Statistics tell us that each year, 1 in 5 women will suffer or experience mental health conditions such as anxiety or depression. 1 in 4 have been the victims of childhood sexual trauma. Even still, 1 in 12 will develop an alcohol dependency at some point in their lives.
And TJ, those are incredible statistics, but those statistics don't even come close to the issues that COVID has impacted as far as our
So
mental
true.
health. There's a report out that basically says that over half of Americans have been feeling and sensing a decline in their mental health since the pandemic started.
Wow.
Yeah, that's so true. We've definitely seen that as a reason why the calls that we get at Restoration Place, so many people struggling, even more so. Once again, I'm so grateful that we could be here and push through with this event and this fundraiser. You know, guys, in Guilford County, the statistics say that 1 in 5 of those women cannot afford the help that they so desperately need. And of that population, I found that there are those who have some resources, so they don't qualify for free or free services or free health coverage, but they don't have enough resources to pay for mental health care. It's just not something that they can afford when the standard industry cost is between $100 and $150. And these are the women that I'm so passionate about reaching. Our goal is to remove the financial barrier so that she can heal from the pain of depression, anxiety, a broken marriage, or trauma. And because when the financial barrier is removed, she then has the space and the time it takes to heal and to cast a new vision for her life.
And each of you all watching right now can be a part of helping a young lady in our community create a new vision for her life. Currently, the counselors at RPC complete about 9,000 professional counseling sessions each year. More than 5,000 of those are offered at a significantly discounted rate, some as low as $25. And in order to remove that financial barrier in our community, RPC has to raise $24,000 each month. You heard me correctly. That's not each year. It's not each quarter. But Gary, that's each month.
That's right.
You're right, TJ. That is a huge mountain to climb. One of the ways we meet a portion of that is through a very special group of people that we call our mountain movers. The Mountain Movers Club is a group of people who have pledged to give on a monthly, quarterly, or annual basis so that I can plan better and so that we can have greater sustainability. This event really provides a good portion of that we need each month. And what I've learned through COVID is that being event dependent is probably not the way to be. Gratefully, we're not completely event dependent, but the new vision that God gave for me tonight for this event in 2020, in the midst of a world pandemic, is that we want to grow our Mountain Movers Club. We need more people who are going to help us, who are going to pledge to help us, not just on event night, but for the next year, help us each month get to that total. That might be somebody gives $10 a month. That might be that somebody gives $1,000 a month. There's no limit, no amount is too small. As you watch the show, I want you to think about how much can you give each month? Maybe what is it that you need to take out of your budget, like that extra Starbucks that I love to get. Did you know pumpkin spice is already here?
I really don't care about pumpkin spice.
You don't care about
It's growing on me.
Well, y'all should, after Thanksgiving, you need to check out the chestnut praline. Now that is a Starbucks drink I
I'm
can
a
get
London
behind.
fogger myself.
Really? Okay, so that's enough about Starbucks. So tonight, you're going to have a chance to hear from 4 amazing women, Alex, Cynthia, Courtney, and Shayna. And I want you to think about, as you listen to their stories that they'll tell to you via video, how much of that $24,000 a month can you give? You may think that I can't give much to make a dent in that, but I promise you, every single penny that's given goes towards helping women find hope and healing. In your watch party kit, you should have seen a card with 4 beautiful women. And these are those women I just mentioned to you. And right in the center is a QR code. All you have to do, Gary, you could probably even figure this out,
Try me.
is point your camera.
Yes.
Do you have your camera with
I do.
you?
I have the camera right.
Let's see what happens. So do you know how to turn your camera on?
I do. It's on.
Okay, so point your camera and what happens?
Open. rpccounseling.org.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! It pops up and it says openrpccounseling.org. You just click on that on the top of your smartphone, and then it will take you to the place where you can give anytime throughout the night, make your pledge of what you want to give.
But what about folks that maybe don't have a smartphone? How can they sign up? How can they?
We have you covered too.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. So inside of your event program is a Become a Mountain Mover, RPC Mountain Mover pledge form. So all you have to do is fill that out, put it in an envelope that you will also find in your watch party kit, and send it back to us, telling us how much you want to give towards that goal. So we opened this segment of the show with a fun performance to a great song by Toby Mac, Eye on It, which you might hear a little bit later as well.
We hope so.
Yeah.
And for 15 years, I have kept my eye on the vision that God gave me to provide professional and affordable Christian counseling for girls and women in our community. RPC has served thousands of women over these years who have told us that they could not have received help otherwise. Our goal is to continue to fulfill this vision for many years to come. but we cannot do it
without you. You know, this whole year has seemed like the timing is off, but you're in the right time and at the right place, because it's now time for our 2020 Restoration Runway Show.
About 6 years ago, Alex Marceau found herself on a terrible path. She was in a verbally abusive and controlling relationship. To cope, Alex was drinking heavily and abusing other substances. The way her life was going was not at all the way she wanted it to.
I fell flat on my face, and my mom gave me two options. I could either get checked in somewhere or go to therapy. The first time coming there was terrifying. I had no idea what to expect. I felt very vulnerable, very exposed, and having to tell your dark secrets and all the ugly to someone that you've never met is terrifying. But being at your lowest point, you're up for whatever. Anything to make a change to get you on the right path.
Self-employed and early in her career as a hair and makeup artist, the cost of counseling is something that would have normally prevented Alex from getting the help she needed.
If I had to pay $100 or $150 every session, there's no way I could be able to continue, much less go as much as I go. It would have to be a kind of pick and choose thing, and I feel like mental health is very important, and that should be a priority to a lot of people. I've learned in counseling that sometimes when bad things happen, it's not God punishing you, because that's not the God that I serve, one that is angry or punishes. Most of the time, He's just trying to open your eyes to see the blessings that are supposed to be coming your way.
Alex's ultimate vision for her future when she began her healing journey was to be married with children and to be successful in her field of work. That vision has been realized with a wonderful husband, 2 beautiful children, and a flourishing career. Today, her vision has shifted outward with a desire to share her heart and story with others.
I do have a vision of how I feel like God is going to use my story. I have already given several people Restoration Place's number. It's okay to ask for help. It's not, there shouldn't be a stigma on counseling or therapy or struggling with mental health issues. I think everybody should go. I think the world would be a better place if everybody did. It's just it's a nice, safe place to have.
Let's live it up. Let's get it up. Go out and smash it. Like, oh my God. Jump out that sofa. Let's get up. I know that we'll have a ball if we get down and go out and just lose it all. I feel stressed out, I wanna let it go. Let's go way out, spaced out, and losing all control. Fill up my cup. Now's the time. Look at her dancing. Just take it up. Let's paint the town. We'll shut it down. Let's burn the roof. And then we'll do it again. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. And do it. And do it. Let's live it up and do it. And do it. And do it. Do it. Do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. 'Cause I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be Blue eye dress for every situation. Moving through the doorway of a nation. Pick me up and shake the doubt. Baby, I can't do without. Don't mess around.
After a 3-year battle with cancer, Pearlie Shaw, Cynthia's beloved husband of almost 43 years, went home to be with Jesus.
When he was first diagnosed with cancer, he actually went in for a routine colonoscopy. And the doctor told him, he said, I found a tumor on the outside of your colon. And so he said, we're going to have to do surgery. He says, we don't know that it's cancer, but I've seen enough to believe that it is. He went through chemo, rang the bell, and we thought things were great. And then 3 months later, it was so aggressive that he couldn't come back from it.
As Cynthia began to walk through the reality of her husband's death, she found herself struggling with her identity. Having defined herself as a married woman for so long, embracing singleness was not coming easy. Her daughter, Keisha, who worked at Restoration Place, suggested that she seek therapy with one of the counselors on staff. Cynthia agreed, and thus began her healing journey.
I started going to counseling, and at first I told her, I said, I think my counselor thinks I am a nutcase. I said, because I just broke down crying. I said, but it was such a relief to know that I could do that and not be judged as being weak because of it. I admired her spirit and how she just embraced me. And it was just, she was amazing. Before my husband died, my goals and visions was for us to be in ministry together, to be evangelists, to travel and just teach and preach the word of God. And once he passed, then I knew that this journey would be alone. But I also had accepted the call to ministry, and I was just waiting for God's time to put me forth. So my vision now is to go forth in ministry. I know that even though he's not here with me physically, that he will be there spiritually and he will be rooting me on, because that's the kind of man he was.
was blinded, you gave me eyes to see. I was going under, you reached out to me. No, there's nothing you won't do to pick me up and pull me through. Every hour, 8 days a week, yeah. Your love is like a fountain, it'll never run dry, it'll never run dry. Your love is moving mountains every day of my life, every day of my life. Can I get a witness? We want glory, but can't measure up. We try money, but don't get enough. We fill our sky with fading lights, trying to guide us through the night. But you're the one thing that'll carry us. Because your love is like a fountain, it'll turn to shadows. I wonder what would happen if you say what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave with what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave. Just wanna see you. I just wanna see you. Just wanna see you. I wanna see you be brave. Just wanna see you. I just wanna see you. I wanna see you be brave. Everybody's been there, everybody's been stared down by the enemy. Falling for the fear and dancing, disappearing, bow down to the mighty. Don't run, stop holding your tongue. Maybe there's a way out of the cage where you live. Maybe one of these days you can let the light in. Show me how big and brave is. Say Spider-Man, Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man. Is he strong? Listen, buddy, he's got radioactive blood. Can he swing from a thread? Take a look overhead. Hey there goes the Spider-Man. In the chill of night, at the scene of a crime, like a streak of light, he arrives just in time. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Well then think
Into MIA. I heard the Cali never rains, to New York's wide awake. First let's see the West End, I'll show you to my bedroom. I'm liking this American boy, American boy. Take me on a trip, I'd like to go someday. Take me to New York, I'd love to see LA. I really want to come pick you with you. You'll be my American boy, American boy. Can we get away this weekend? Take me to Broadway. Let's go shopping, maybe then we'll go to a cafe. Let's go on the subway. Take me to your hood. I've never been to Brooklyn and I'd like to see what's good. Dressed in all your fancy clothes, sneakers looking fresh to death. I'm loving those show toes. So
touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this. My music hits me so hard, makes me say, oh my Lord, thank you for blessing me. What am I to rhyme and to hype me? It feels good when you know you're down. A super dope homeboy from the Oak Town, and I'm known as such, and this is a beat. You can't.
Courtney grew up with a mother who suffered from mental illness and substance abuse. By the age of 21, she was a single mom of 2 daughters and carried with her a history of childhood sexual assault and trauma. When her mother passed from cancer in 2014, this became the proverbial straw that broke her camel's back. The back which had carried so much weight for so many years.
I was very active with my church. I was a student of the Word. I was serving. I was prayerful. I felt like that there was nothing God could not do. And it hurt a lot when my mom died. At that point, I did not know who I was, and I was not sure God was who He was either. It's interesting now when I think about that I felt like God was just absent at some of the hardest times in my life, that I realized He was using my counselor to be present with me and to reassure me that He hasn't left and He had not left. One of the things that I know now that I couldn't see then is that He really is faithful. And silence does not mean absence.
As Courtney began the counseling process, she knew she had a long road ahead to work through the trauma she had experienced in her life. At that time, she did not have insurance, and the sliding scale at Restoration Place was exactly what she needed.
There are lots of people who healthcare coverage is just not affordable. I won't go into dollars and cents for myself, but affordable healthcare coverage was not affordable for me at one point. The sliding scale was right where it was when I needed it. I didn't feel less than for being a person who had to utilize it, and I'm appreciative that other people realized that someone, they didn't need to have to, go through what they were going through without support, that they could be part of, helping someone else just by giving. If I hadn't been able to access that, I couldn't have made the progress that I've made in the past couple of years, period. Life is hard, but I'm struggling differently than I used to. I have a 26-year-old and a 24-year-old daughter, and my vision going forward is that they're getting more of me than they ever had, even though I felt like I was, just giving it all as a mom. I have a different me to give them now, and that's very cool.
just like an open door. I can't say in any better way or display what you need and made of. You're beautiful. I can't find any better line or design, any better sign for you're beautiful. I feel the sun is especially warm today. Well, I guess you made the rain go and come back another day. You know I love your smile. That's all I need for me. Living my life with you.
I know you got this whole thing under control. My soul is untouchable because you've already won me. My victory is not in this flesh and bone. It's in the cross, and I know nobody's taking it from me. I got my armor now, no fear, no doubt, can't shoot me down. Yeah, I got my armor now, no fear, no doubt, gonna shoot me down, 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 down. Now I'm bulletproof because of you, because of you. And now I'm bulletproof because of you, because of you. You love me away. Now I'm not afraid, no matter what the world may say or what they do. I am bulletproof because of you, because of you, you. And I don't have to fear no more, worry no more. I don't have to fear no more, worry no more. And I don't have to fear no more, worry no more. I sing every morning and into the night. You got to tell everyone in the land. Come on, tell every girl, boy, woman, and man. We just that God's been good, yeah, good to me. Come on, I've been forgiven and it feels so free. It's a beautiful thing when I sing to you, Jesus. The days are a joy, the nights are all bright. Even the rocks cry out your glory. Let everyone rejoice tonight. You got to tell everyone in the land. Come on, tell every girl, boy, woman, and man. Rejoice, that God's been good, yeah, good to me. Come on, I've been forgiven and it feels so free. That God's been good, yeah, good to me.
I just can't believe where my life was at. All that I know is my heart was broken. I don't ever want to go back. Ain't no explanation how I saw the light. He found me and he set me free and he brought me back to life. Blame it on the transformation, change down to the core. This love is real and I can't sit still 'cause my name's not shame no more. Great God Almighty, don't change me. Great God Almighty, He done change me. You gotta shake, shake, shake like you change, change, change. Brand new look so good on you, so shake like you've been changed. Come on and shake, shake like you change, shake like you change. Maybe He came to you when everything seemed fine. Or maybe your world was upside down and hit you right between the eye. No matter when it happened, that 7 clap it up, clap it up, clap it up now. Now clap it up, clap it up, clap it up now. Now clap it up, clap it up, clap it up now. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up now. Now breathe in, take it in slow, let it work up in your soul. Take your time and let it grow for you blow. Breathe out, let them know what you about from the words in your mouth to the way you live it out. No doubt. Breathe in, take it in slow, let it work up in your soul. Take your time and let it grow for you blow. Breathe out, let them know what you about from the words in your mouth to the way you live it out. No doubt. Don't rock, don't pop, don't drop, don't move. Just listen real close to what we're trying to tell you. It's probably something different than what you're used to. But let me bring it down so the truth don't miss you. I love a little Bible was ready to take off. On with the truth, but drop the grace off. When everybody see me, they ready to break off. I say to myself, oh well, and stay lost. Breathe in, but wouldn't take the word in slow. Lost the context that I heard before. Wouldn't meditate on the word, I just go. Forget a commentary, I got the same soul. They say wisdom is better than silver and gold. But I skipped that verse and I hit the dough. Man, they couldn't tell me nothing, thought that I was on to something. I was running no direction, just a brother trying to gun it. Breathe in, take it in slow, let it work up in your soul. Take your time and let it grow for you blow. Breathe out, let them know what you about from the words in your mouth to the way you live it out. No doubt. Breathe in, take it in slow, let it work up in your soul. Take your time and let it grow for you blow. Breathe out, let them know what you about. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she precious? Less than 1 minute. Oh,
In 2014, the vision that I had for my life was shattered. My husband at the time suffered a traumatic brain injury, and he will never remember the events of that evening, but they're forever burned into my memory. At the time, I had a toddler at home, and I was pregnant, 6 weeks pregnant with my second son. Unfortunately, our marriage fell victim to the injury. The events of that evening and the injury itself caused a change of heart in him and in me, and our home was not the most stable place to raise a family. And we made the decision together at that time to separate and then eventually divorce.
Shayna knew she needed professional help, something beyond what friends and family could offer. She was introduced to Restoration Place when she modeled in the 2017 Runway event. Her walk on the runway that year led to a long, restorative walk down a healing path.
When I first started counseling, I really didn't know exactly what I wanted. I just knew I had been through an emotional roller coaster and I needed some stability through my changes that were going on. But I eventually got to a place where I really wanted to dig deeper to the root of my pain, and I was ready for growth. I was ready to be challenged. I had a lot that I didn't realize going on inside that I needed to get out. And so counseling led me to that place, even though that wasn't initially where I started. I utilized the sliding scale at Restoration Place so that I could consistently receive the kind of support that I needed. I believe it's important to have access to counseling no matter what your financial situation is, and anyone that is in need of that kind of support should be able to have it. And so having that option at Restoration Place was, a blessing to me. I think God works through our mess. He uses us through our struggles, and I think God wants to use me to share my story of hope. God has a vision for our life that is far greater than anything we could ask of Him. His eyes are on us, and my vision for my life is to have my eye on Him, because I know that's what's going to be best for me, for my boys, and for my life.
Wow, y'all have some talent. Did these guys have talent or what? I know if you were here in the audience with us, the roof would be raising with applause. Was this not a great performance, production, fashion show, beautiful models, very handsome, well, sort of handsome
Thank
models.
you. I'll take that as a compliment.
It is a compliment. But thank you so much. I want to remind you one more time before we say goodnight how to give, how to become a mountain mover for Restoration Place Counseling. Remember that card that I talked to you about at the beginning of the show? Point your camera at that QR code, click on the link, and decide today, tonight, how much you want to give monthly to Restoration Place to help more women like Courtney, Alex, Cynthia, and Shayna. And I just want to say a special thanks to them for being so willing to share their story, their testimony of what God's done in their life, the new visions that they have for their lives. I just consider it such an honor and a privilege to be able to serve these women.
So think about it. Right where you are right now, you can be a mountain mover. Will you make the decision tonight to make giving to RPC a part of your vision for this year?
I think that's a great idea, TJ. Thank you so much. Again, thank you for considering what you can give over the next 12 months until we are right back here at the Carolina Theater. And starting tonight, we will have Vote for Your Favorite Fashions. You'll get to relive all of the wonderful fashions from our retailers that participated in the show. There will be photos up in the same place that Vote for Your Favorite Model was up. And over the next week, you'll be able to vote $5 a vote. That's nothing. Just give up a Starbucks this week. Cast a vote for your favorite fashion on Tuesday, October 6th. Tuesday, October 6th.
Big day.
We are going to announce how much we raised, how close we are to our goal, and who the next top model and top retailer in Greensboro will be. And you know what the really cool thing is? Whoever that is, we're going to frame the photos and hang them in a place of honor, because in the Restoration Place Counseling offices, we couldn't do this without the tons of volunteers.
True.
The models, these guys that have danced and rehearsed and
Rehearsed.
We couldn't do it without you. So
thank you, Cindy.
that's just a little way that we can give back, and we hope that everybody will participate, have a great time. Hope you've enjoyed the 11th Annual Restoration Runway. We'll see you next year.